Hello and welcome to Agric Connect, the one show that brings you real stories from real farmers with real farming innovations. My name is Annette Mtetwa, your host, and today we spice it up literally with an episode on greenhouse sweet bell pepper production. Now we know greenhouse bell pepper production is a very profitable enterprise because red and yellow bell peppers on their own are very profitable products within the market. Now, is there a difference within growing your green peppers or your bell peppers in the greenhouse compared to growing it in the open field? I must say there is a very massive difference in growing these products within the greenhouse and outside of the greenhouse. We see the greenhouse controlled environment bringing you good quality fruits and high quality fruits that are sellable at a better price within the market. With this in mind, as a farmer, we are saying to you, investing in a greenhouse is an enterprise that will bring you profitable and good returns after your inputs that might seem to be very expensive from the start up. Growing greenhouse bell peppers requires a period of maturity of up to 3 months within the greenhouse, and after that you can start harvesting your green bell peppers. As we all know, green peppers eventually turn to either red peppers or yellow peppers. So as a green bell pepper farmer, you harvest your peppers at an earlier stage, and then if you are looking to get into the red and yellow bell pepper production, you have to leave your peppers to mature for a longer period, and this maturity is what gives your peppers the sweetness that you eventually taste within the red and yellow peppers. So there is a massive difference, as we can see, within these peppers: green peppers, yellow peppers, and red peppers. As we see the market price for red peppers and yellow peppers being higher than the ones for green peppers, this is because of the maturity index period that is required for your red and yellow peppers. With that in mind, as a farmer, you look into getting back your returns after putting in so much effort and so much money into erecting a greenhouse and securing the inputs that will give you good returns. So as a farmer, putting in your green pepper alongside with your red and yellow peppers will give you profitable investments, as you are allowing yourself to be in the market with the green pepper while you await your red and yellow peppers to mature. With this in mind, we are going to be joined by a farmer who has taken up the enterprise of growing all 3 types of bell peppers within their greenhouse. Today we will see an appreciation of green bell peppers, red bell peppers, and yellow bell peppers side by side in one greenhouse. One farmer, one experience. We look forward to hearing more from this farmer in the next segment. Hello and welcome back to Agric Connect. On this segment, like I said, we're spicing it up with an edition where we talk about the production of sweet bell peppers. As we know, sweet bell peppers are also used for the production of paprika spice, the well-known spice that our housewives so love to use. Today we are joined by Melissa Chimuka, who is going to tell us about her farming experience with all 3 types of bell peppers. Melissa, how are you today?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. This is exciting. We can see you've got the green, you've got the red, and you've got the yellow all in one field.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about what inspired you to get into the enterprise of sweet bell pepper production within the greenhouse?
Sweet bell peppers are more profitable than the ordinary peppers which we grow outside the greenhouse because of the quality of the fruits. As you can see from this one, you see it's firm, so quality, shelf life in a given point.
There are very different aspects. So are you saying that for the yellow pepper and the red pepper, it's more difficult or almost impossible to grow them outside of the greenhouse?
Outside the greenhouse, you can, maybe you'll be harvesting them as green, because the moment you're not ma colors, affect kanoro aneinonzi sunscald. Sunscald ndoyekuti this part yachona the more pari kutena color the more painoita weak mbichana more than ufeminess wanenge iri green. So panongotena color panoita sunscald kakuneta so quality inenge iri reduced.
Ndabata pakuti painotena apapa. As farmers out there, I think we would like to know what is the actual ideology behind green peppers, yellow peppers and red peppers. Zvine mavharaiti akasiyana here kana kuti tinongotenga mbeu ye green pepper, totenga mbeu ye red pepper, totenga mbeu ye yellow pepper, zvichingowanikwa zvakasiyana kudaro?
Yes, varieties aripo. Varieties aripo pakuti mamwe anenge ari OPV, mamwe oita hybrid. Ipapo ndo pane difference varieties. Then asi yellow inototanga riri variety yellow pepper. Inenge to a certain variety inotena yellow pepper. So peppers edu ese anotanga as green. Then pano richa maturity, pano tena color. Ndo panobva tena either into yellow or into red. Saka munhu kana uchida kushandisa iri green zvikuda kuti wakuiharvesta earlier than my expected days maturity. Then kana uchida kuti tene colors woisiya wozoharvesta later.
I think that's a piece of information that most of our farmers out there actually didn't know. But tatodzidza takuziya kuti green pepper inototena kuti izoita either red or yellow. With that piece of information, mungatiudzawo ere kuti plants atinawo aya kana kuti per plant unenge uchitarisira yield yakamira sei uyezve unoharvesta nguva yakareba sei pepper yakadai greenhouse?
Okay, expected yield per pepper inenge iri greenhouse inotangira minimum is 4 kgs per plant. And so per this portion chete tinenge tichito expect more and more tons because my plants edu ari kufamba ari 2 per plant station. Saka tiri per each plant station tiri expect a minimum of 8 kgs per mapeppers atinawo muno.
Payield yenyu munenge muchiverengera here kuti mamwe acho achaharvestwa ari green kana kuti pamakaisa apa mune tarisiro yekuti muri kuharvesta only red and yellow peppers, targeting those markets particularly?
It depends nekuti kumarket kwedu tawana maprices are favorable. Say like in this season yatiri yewinter mapeppers ve outside avasukwanisa magrower so greenhouse tinawo so are more profitable. Saka tinenge tichimatengesa as colored and also as green pepper because prices yachona inenge iri higher. Munoharvesta nguva yakareba sei maplants aya achirimo muno greenhouse tichitarisa from period yamunosvika from first harvest to the last harvest? From transplanting to maturity it's 90 days, that is 3 months, then totanga kuharvesta. But on that point maturity my peppers are no flash, so after 3 months zvikuda kuti akuharvesta first flash oita kunge apera. The moment yapanenge pane mafruits haasi kuita flower development, so flash inenge yakapera, then patinoharvesta takumirira another flash yotangidza futi tichingodaro.
What are the intervals between these flashes? Kuti pata harvesta apa tinotasira kuti next flash yedu yemaflowers inozouya after how long?
Kazhinji unogonongodila for about a month or so. It depends nema temperatures ari outside ndo anogona kuaffect. So kana uchishandisawo biological fertilizers foliars zvinoreva kuti growth yako nemaflashes ako zvinoitika kakuboostika.
Okay, understood. Yes. So there is also a need of incorporation of some foliar fertilizers that aid flowering.
Yes.
Kuti tirambe tichibereka vana tichienderera mberi.
Yes.
Okay. Then in the aspect of fertigation, we know kuti mapeppers are in same family nema tomatoes. Does this mean kuti they are also heavy feeders like tomatoes and require a lot of nutrients to keep them up in terms of their sustainability?
Not as such. Mapeppers azonyanyoda fertilizers akawanda the same as my tomatoes, but for same zvatinongoita kumatomatoes kuti we need zvinenge zvinana potash for fruit and flowering development, zvisinana calcium for quality. That's the same. Tinenge tichida kungozviincludewo mumafertigation programs edu kuitira kuti tikwanise kuproducer more fruits and quality fruits.
Thank you very much for that, Melissa. In terms of diseases and pests, tingati madiseases atinowanawo kumadomasi uko kosezvo iri same family ndiwo atinowana here mumapepers, or there are different diseases to look out for when it comes to pepper plants?
Kupepa challenge ingoriko kunoita inonzi powder mildew yekuti kana uchitosika uchakutotarisa under the nip yema leaves ndopa unoona some white powdery stuff, ndopa munoona kuti that disease yapinda. I think that's the most challenging disease ingori kupepa chete.
And then pamapests panowanza kuita mapests akaita sei pamapepers?
Panowanzoita ma-aphids, koita ma-thrips here and there, koita red spider, especially museason yatakupinde yekuti kunenge kuchipisa. Red spider ndopa inonyanyova challenge.
Zviya zvipukanana zvatinoti ma-white flies zvinowanikwa futi here mupepa. Since it's a greenhouse controlled environment, we see kuti mumadomasi emugreenhouse white fly inombowanza kuti wandei nayo.
Yes, yeah, and there anowanikwawo, but kutoti atozonyanyowanda hunge paine a tomato paside. Tomato ndonenge ratonyanyova host here that white fly yozomufa ichiuya kupepa, but it's not a challenge.
It's not a challenge to pepper as much. So basically, pepper plants are able to deter pests more than the tomato plant, regardless of being in the same family.
Yes.
I think greenhouse farming is a revolutionary enterprise that is coming up in the nation of Zimbabwe. What is your key takeaway as a young farmer and as a woman in farming?
Okay, to the youth and young farmers out there, I would encourage you to start with belly pepper production inside a greenhouse, as my peppers requires less labor. Even pest and disease infestation, it is reduced than in tomatoes. So for someone who need a motivation to continue in farming, I would encourage for pepper production.
And then after that, they can delve into tomato production.
Yes.
Tingaziva here kuti tisati taenda, tingaziva here kuti pane issue ye rotation here ingavepo in following peppers with tomatoes.
With smart agriculture and zvakungoitika kuti kwane ma-chemicals akasiyana siyana, sometimes you can use the new technologies. Munogona kumbopindura ivhu renyu kuti mukabva kutomato mobopindura moita sei ma-chemicals ekudzivira zvimwe zvirwere, then moisa tomato. After that mozoisa a leaf kana lettuce, broccoli, call as rotation. So
Melissa, as a final takeaway to our farmers in our farmers in youth and our women in farming, what would you say?
I would encourage farmers out there and other youths, young women like me, to join us in farming. As you can see, unogara uri occupied, hauite stress, because my plans is something chekuti unotaura nacho, like ndinouya good morning my plans chichichi kuti tichinzwanana kuti akamira sei ari healthy. So to young women out there, I would encourage you to try farming over zvese.
There you have it, farmers. We are encouraged by Melissa to step into this revolutionizing industry of agriculture, where many opportunities await us as young women in agriculture and young farmers in agriculture. Join us in the next segment as we are joined by an expert who is going to tell us more about how we can profitize or maximize our profits in terms of bell pepper production. Welcome back to Agric Connect as we are joined by our expert, Patience Chisho, who is going to tell us more nuggets on what makes bell pepper production profitable in Zimbabwe. Hi Patience, how are you today?
Annette, how are you? I'm good.
I'm very well, thank you. So we keep hearing the words profitable around the actual production of bell peppers. What is it that makes these peppers so profitable?
My bell peppers are so high in demand throughout the year, And also inside this greenhouse, you can grow them all year round, uchingotema. You can sell them as green, red, or yellow peppers. Those noita kuti ave high in demand. And also, in terms of shelf life, they have got a good shelf life compared to other tomatoes or anything.
We see the production within this greenhouse. The spacing is of interest, and also how the farmer decided to couple the plants as 2 plants per station. What is the reason behind this?
Okay, the reason is to maximize the yield, and also is that we will harvest a couple of times at the same area.
How is the competition between the 2 plants and ingari per same station? As a farmer, do I need to feed more to this plant, or there is very little required for me to sustain 2 plants at one station?
Isus kuti tikwanise sustain 2 plants. We increase our nitrogen, fertilizer, potassium, calcium, and magnesium, for that to compensate feeding 2 plants at the same time.
So we heard our farmer earlier on talking about the issue of flushing. How can we increase or enhance the flowering stages in terms of my flushes at Noana, my flowers, to produce more fruits on our plant?
So we increase per fertigation program, we increase the phosphorus fertilizer, which is mostly for the flower formation, and also we increase the calcium, which is also for the fruit quality, and also we increase potassium for the ripening of the fruit.
Okay, and then is there any type of pruning? We've seen in tomato, kuti there's certain types of pruning and training back to maintain one stem that we do on the plant. Pane pruning inoitwa here pama peppers?
Yes, there is specific pruning. Mostly isusu tinoshandisa yekuti we leave 2 branches ndo yatino maintainer kuti totanga kupruna kubva kweplant kwedu, then tozosiya 2 branches tongoramba tine that certain pruning iyoyo.
So after maintaining 2 plants, as a farmer, what is my expected yield? Ndinotarisira kuti pandinochengeta 2 maplants aya pa one station, gora ndiri kutarisira from these 2 plants rinofana kunge rakamira sei?
Isusu according to our variety yatinenge takarima, expect kuti panozopera gore, we are expecting at least 10 kgs per each plant gore.
Saka apa muri kuti maplants aya you keep them for even up to a year ari greenhouse?
Yes.
And they continue to produce?
Yes.
Do they sometimes exceed beyond a year, or tinongoperera pagore ipapo kuti taona kuti we've made our returns and we can let the plant go?
Yes, sometimes we can exceed, but isusu kana reach the expected yield yatinenge takaita matargets edu, tinobva tangogumira papo pateta richa
pamunenge maricha target yenyu. Would you encourage farmers to do all 3 lines, or would you encourage them to do 1 line of pepper only, being the red, the green, or the yellow? Or do these peppers move hand in hand? If I'm going to get into pepper production, must I consider all 3 lines?
Yes, if you are going to move into pepper production, you must consider all 3 lines. For example, in terms of in winter season, there is slow ripening of peppers. So usually farmers will sell green first, then we wait for the ripening of red and yellow, then we will sell. But we can't just wait kuti nekuti ari kunonoka kuibva saka atichatotengesi. Saka ndo zvimwe zvinhu zvatinenge tichitarisira izvozvo.
What is the current market price yema peppers edu right now?
For yellow and red, it's around $50 and above per kg. Then for green, it's $1 per kg.
That sounds very profitable to me if you get into this type of farming. Inombodzika ere below $50 for green, for red and yellow, and $1 for green pepper?
Yes.
Do we ever get variations below that?
Yes, we can, up to 50 cents or 60 cents.
This is when the market is flooded and summer production is happening.
Yes.
As a farmer who is trying to get into pepper production, what are the key takeaways or the key things I need to consider to get into pepper production? We've heard kuti as a farmer starting up in greenhouse production, ukatanga nemapepa zvinokurerukira kuti uchitanga kuzopinda mune zvimwe zvinenge madomasi nemacucumber.
Chekutanga murimi anofana kutanga atsvaga market yake. Market yake ndo inozokwanisa kudetermine kuti is it profitable or not. chechitatu ndechekuti varietal selection, akatsvaga hybrids varieties anokwanisa kuita over a year uchirima, and at the same time those hybrids anokwanisa kuva disease and pest resistance mu different seasons of the year. Ndo zvinoita kuti ave profitable. And also mapepa in terms of shelf life, they are very good in terms of shelf life. Zvekuti unogona kuharvesta pamwe usisina market but still anenge achiri right kuti uzomatengesa.
Market. Yes. And then as a final takeaway, what would you say to our farmers in terms of being ready and being an all year round pepper producer? Can this sustain a farmer's livelihood? Can I have pepper alone throughout my greenhouse for a whole year and sustain my livelihood and still get my returns?
Yes, as a farmer you can have your pepper all year round and sustain your livelihood.
Thank you very much for your expert advice, Patience. We are very grateful as farmers to have learned from you today what it takes to be profitable in bell pepper production. And there you have it, farmers. Let's spice it up this season and get into some greenhouse production with bell peppers. It seems quite simple enough as a startup if you are looking to venture into a greenhouse production project. So look into it, get expert advice, and get started today on your greenhouse pepper production. We like to spice it up here with me, your host, Annette Mtetwa. Thank you for joining us on this exciting episode of Agric Connect, where we mastered from the expert and the farmer how to get into bell pepper production. Let's be profitable this season, farmers. Thank you for joining us on this episode. I look forward to seeing you again next time.